1565 The Shogun's Last Stand. Hisahide exploded the doors to the sword room. When the smoke cleared, his gaze wasn't fixed on Bokyuden, the shogun, or the perimeter of swords around them. He remembered a conversation with his mentor Hisahide Hosokawa. "Trust me, Danjo, they are real." At Nijo Palace, in the sword room, there is a massive sword. It was originally called the Great Sword. It belonged to the first man, King Ichiban. Eventually, V.T would seal Shogun Shuren inside the blade. It has been in the sword room since Nijo was built. It went to every shogun's palace back in the day, and they took that sword every time they moved the capital. Every time, for strong men carried it. King Risei was the only man to wield the blade. If any normal man tried, its power would destroy their body. It holds the key of one of the greatest Onika and 6 others. It boggles the mind they contained so much ki into a single blade. I've been to the sword room twice in my life. My cousin Moto Mesa is the second most powerful Hosokawa to ever live, and he was terrified of that sword. This man enslaved 2 shoguns in his life. Masamoto was the man who told Shogun Ryua he was wrong. A man that powerful wouldn't go within 10 paces of that sword. So, I know that Shuren is real. Danjo asked, "What if I ran into the sword room and took the Shuren?" Hisahide was surprised to see such ambition. "Well, I suppose if the shogun's men didn't kill you beforehand, the power of that sword would destroy you. Unless you are as powerful as King Risei was." Danjo's face shifted. "If I was as powerful as King Risei, Nobi wouldn't have had to die. I will be strong enough to save the people I care about. It's been 5 years, I still miss him. All I want to do is protect you, Kichiai and Kobe. Few people treat me as a person. I'm sorry I wasn't strong enough to save Nobi." Danjo smiled. "That sword can change the world." Yoshiteru scoffed at him. "You villainous dog. How dare you even set eyes upon it? That sword belongs to the shogunate. I'll carve out your eyes for even looking at it." Hisahide laughed. "Those will be your last words, Yoshiteru. You guards did well. They killed about 100 of my men. Too bad for you. I have 400 more." Dozens of Hisahide's men rushed into the sword room. Yoshiteru and Bokyuden were back to back cutting down any that got close. Yoshiteru lopped off one man's arm and kicked him into another. He then planted his sword through both of them and grabbed a new sword. He cut another man's throat and decapitated another. He painted the walls and floors with the blood and limbs of his opponents. His hacking and slashing expertly thinned the enemy ranks. When he damaged, dulled or lodged a blade, he abandoned it and grabbed another. Bokyuden was much more careful and methodical. He only targeted soft spots like feet and necks. He attempted to only make contact with other swords when necessary. Together they killed nearly 100 attackers. "Hisahide, how many men do you have left?" "Definitely not 400 anymore. If you want to grab more, we swear we will wait here." Hearing the taunts, some of Hisahide's men fled. Hisahide stepped back to the side and notationed his men to follow. Yoshiteru was confused. "Did we win? Are you seriously retreating?" Hisahide laughed and pointed his finger in the air and shot a fireball. "You are a fool if you thought I didn't bring a contingency plan." Just then a dozen Saika mercenaries rushed into the courtyard. They fired a volley of shots into the sword room. "Damn, they got me in the gut. Those firearms pack a punch, right, master?" His face contorted to woe as he looked at Bokyuden. The old master ran in front of him, absorbing most of the shots. Bokyuden fell to the floor. With the death of his master, Yoshiteru flew into a bloodlust and charged at the Miyoshi. He felled a score of them. Hisahide ordered his men to hold up tatami mats as shields and attack him with spears. He still attempted to cut through the mats. He lost many swords that way. The blood loss from the gunshot slowed him down. Soon he began taking spear wounds. Ditch the mats, he's finished. Close in and end this. Yoshiteru's swords were shattered and there were no more near to him. He staggered backwards bleeding. He was losing consciousness. He turned around to look at the mighty blade Shuren. He felt the sword speak to him. Pick it up. Shogun. He reached for it. Hisahide motioned for his men to halt. Harakiri by touching Shuren. Interesting. Yoshiteru grabbed the massive red blade.